going head-to-head, Diego Lopez. And there are some rumors and reports around him. We'll talk about that over the next few hours. David Lopez will anchor what is a five-man back line. Javi Fuego will anchor the midfield with the former Barca boy, Victor Sanchez. And then keep an eye up front, Granero and Darder in support of the phenomenal Gerard Moreno. The RCDE Stadium in Cornellà, temperature in the upper 50s. Not really expecting rain, but it is an overcast sky. Ricardo de Burgos, the man with the whistle. Martinez and Nunez down the lines. Escriche is the fourth. You saw the cupkeeper Sillison. Vermaelen stays out there. Digne slides in on the left. The midfield three. Carlos Aleñá, the young phenom, getting a chance to roam. And up front, it is Messi alongside Denis Suarez and Aleix Vidal. We are underway. Phil Shane alongside Ray Hudson, and Barcelona wearing their third kit and taking a look at the blood red. That's probably what Espanyol is hoping for today. The Parakeets with pride on the line and a berth in the next round. Stolen in the midfield. Messi pushing into the attack and chopped down by Fuego, who gets pegged in the head by a clearance from his own teammate.
Just about to take a good hard crack at this one. Wonderful in his turn on the ball as this one gets intercepted. Lionel off like a jackrabbit on a hot date, and he gets clipped unquestionably because, well, that's one way of stopping him, and he knows it. And as you say, gets his marbles rattled for it, and Messi looking to rattle the net against number 13, Diego Lopez.
The ball giving him a touch of payback immediately.
Big distance for to hit, big goalkeeper for to beat. But it's Lionel Messi, and we all know his distance is where he lives. This angle will be good for him. He could pick either side of the keeper. A lot to take into consideration. Showtime early.
Well, if we forgot about it, he reminded us last game, and this game, well, it's still early.
Yeah, maybe he needs a torrential downpour, because that goal last week was sensational, taking all the raindrops into account, but not this time. And the crowd loving it, of course. Great heated derby this, no love lost between the two clubs, but a lot of Catalan internationals out there, Phil, on both sides of the pitch.
And especially from La Masia to the Parakeets, quite a few players who have gotten their start in the other colors. We'll talk about that as we progress.
Yeah, shame we didn't see the build-up to this game, because those wonderful mascots that Espanyol have, them beautiful big budgies, missed them.
Rattled by Naldo, bangs off Vidal. Well, they might be lovebirds, Ray, but I'm not sure there's much love in the air, as we can see here in the early going.
It certainly isn't, and this team comes in with their own pluck and confidence. Espanyol, they got a good confidence booster at the weekend with that 1-1 draw with Athletic Bilbao, but it's been a strangely inconsistent season for Espanyol under their wonderful coach, in my money, Quique Sanchez Flores. He's having an effect on them, Phil, and it's usually good.
Sergio Roberto in for Piqué, cleared before it gets there. Well, he was a wanted man, and there are not many that turn down the big bucks of the Premier League, but he is one.
Yeah, right, and he's still got he's still got booed off his own fans after we just watched some balletic football by the great Busquets.
Maybe his best Ronaldinho expression.
And pushing it out wide, the telescopic legs, cleaning up the mess, but that's got to be worth a good set of batteries in your fancy schmancy machines, because that was astonishing from Boozy.
Slipped through by Messi, dummied on by Denis. Now Digne. Aleñá poked free, but reclaimed.
The man in the mask comes and plucks the ball away right there. And Lopez
Lopez slipping into the midfield and now giving Busquets a reminder. In for Messi, back for Paulinho. The Brazilian can't ping it home, and now Victor Sanchez tries to steal it away. Well, this Espanyol side down in the bottom fourth of the table, but there is some distance. A good 7-point gap between them and the relegation zone.
Absolutely magic. Turns it one way, turns it the other. Abra, Cadabra, a back heel flick. Stupendously magnificent. Poetry of the highest order in motion. This wonderful footballer, unique throughout the world.
And again, maybe as a joke, but it would be interesting to ask on a day where Ronaldinho is celebrated around the world if that might have been a tip of the cap from Sergi.
Well said, Phil.
5 minutes in. Espanyol hasn't even been able to rent the ball. Now back in their own zone.
The blue and whites come in here after overcoming Levante in the last round to make the final 8. First leg here.
A bit better than they did last year, Ray. They were Alcorconed at the first hurdle. Well, their crosstown foes made it all the way to the title. They're 29th. Piqué over to the far side. Sergio Roberto. Piqué. Thomas Vermaelen. Sneaks it through, and well played.
Playing absolutely at the top of his footballing tree right now, and it is a Sequoia. Wonderful Thomas Vermaelen now. Went through his struggles in the past. Injury prone, but he's put it all behind. He's looking better than he's arguably ever done in his career. What do you think, ex-Guna?
Unfortunately, emphasis on the X.
Good challenge, but he rides it. Buzzi says, I got your back.
Gerard Moreno, the 25-year-old, plucked away from Villarreal, plucked back from Villarreal a couple of seasons ago. Very impressive.
Poor David Lopez, Phil, and that iron mask. The number 15 for the blue and whites. It's a horrible thing to wear on your face, such an intimate area. I had to wear one in my playing time in Fort Lauderdale with the great strikers team in the old NASL, and had to go for 2 weeks. It lasted 10 minutes on my face before I pulled it off. And it was like Zorro that day. Scored the goal that won the game. No mask.
Off to the near side. Of course, they're a little lighter than they used to with all the carbon fiber and stuff.
Yeah, well said.
Although we still have seen Sergio Ramos rip them off at times.
Absolutely. It's just, as I said, it's such an intimate part of your body that put big holes in it for your peripheral vision. It makes no difference. They cannot get it comfortable, and then the sweat starts to come in between the mask and your face. It's horrible. That's a lovely touch to set this up, and he's got options out wide.
Alenya out wide. Vidal fakes the cross, but then forced to retreat.
A lovely confidence booster for Alenya there, Phil. That was difficult circumstances for the kid to control.
Hard for Roberto, but he gets there, drops it back off the sliding Lopez. Blasted from long range and slapped wide by Diego Lopez.
It's not often you see the big man pull his big howitzer out, but he does this time, and Diego says, I see you. It takes a deflection. It's a wonderful save from Diego.
This will swing in towards the former Real Madrid netminder. Comes out to grab it. Still near the top of his game at the age of 36, to the point where Rafa Benitez is looking to reunite once again. Newcastle putting out feelers, but it looks like he'll be staying.
Great goalkeeper he's been over all of the years. It's never going to be called for a handball. The ball running onto the hand and no intention to play the ball. Yeah, a lot of people going on about these close proximity handballs, but if the ball comes up against your hand or your arm and it's obvious there's no intention of playing it, shouldn't get called, but nowadays we're seeing them called. Very difficult for defenders.
Vidal off for Messi. back towards the converted winger, and he does get there.
Plenty of rotation in this Barcelona team. Valverde really relying on his bench and giving the players, the likes of Dennis and Carles Elena, the real good wink. Lucadinha thrown in. That's, again, wonderful.
By the way, something good on the bench we might see in the second half. Rafinha back healthy and available.
Yeah, a lot of the Italian clubs sniffing around him.
Dummied by Busquets, but now he's the one that looks like the dummy. Ex-teammate Victor Sanchez with the steal and a foul upfield. Ricardo de Burgos trying to keep things calm.
Espanyol want the card, and you know what? They've got an axe to grind because Messi's turning onto him and he pulls him back just about the time when the pass is about to be made in a forward goal-threatening position.
If it was the other way around?
Well, it shouldn't be a case of early in the game, and whenever a foul happens, it should be, but certainly if it was the other way around, who knows? Probably would be called against Messi.
By the way,
obviously politicking the ex-Real Madrid man.
Talking about rotation, Arda Turan rotated right out of Barcelona this past week, returning to Turkey to Başakşehir. Get a chance to watch him in Super League action here on BeinSport, but not with Barcelona. Touched away shy of the flag. It'll be a throw in deep.
That Turkish league is really on the ascendancy, Phil. Great investments, not just by the usual big two in Turkey, but as you say, these new teams are on the up and up and making some great inroads. Always tremendous football.
Dummied through, trying to flip on the header. Granero touched wide to the near side. Mark Navarro, another ex-Barca boy. Piqué just a little rattled. Of course, Orlando City's Kyle Larin wants to be, Besiktas wants him to be, but Orlando City's still holding on. The Canadian might be joining the Turkish gold rush before too long. Out for the goal kick. Take another look. Should it have been?
It's just about to pick a pass there on the inside of Thomas Vermaelen, and there's no question. They've got a real good point. Keeps it alive. Alenia, the wanting handball for his season. Wonderful placement from the ref again. Says nada.
Kind of interesting, Ray, and I know we're getting down towards the money end. Ball back for Sillissen. The Dutchman keeps it moving to the Belgian. Vermaelen up the line. But a lot of times in cup play, it's a little passive, but not today. Denis Suarez off the good outlet. Nino on the overlap. Slicing it in, but Alenia runs into a roadblock named Naldo.
Naldo cutting across nicely, and good bright football from Denis Suarez, 24-year-old, cutting in nicely. But you can understand this atmosphere, Phil. Imagine living in the city of Barcelona and reading every headline every morning and every paper about them, their despised eternal rivals. And now they've got them in their own backyard, and it may be a dark alley for Barcelona to walk down. They've shown in the first legs of the Copa del Rey that this rotation has worked, and they've went to some scary places and got results comfortably. I don't know if it'll be comfortable here tonight. It's a lovely set of touches there from Busquets and Paulinho.
Messi tripped up, foul, no card. I guess kind of fitting, Ray, considering their jerseys. It's almost a flashback to that Roma 4-6-0. Messi the closest there is to a forward out there. Denis Suarez and Ailés Vidal staying wide. We've already seen Alenia push up into the box, and we know Paulinho can do it.
Well, he'll be the central point of reference, Messi, tonight, but you watch. Paulinho will be streaking in, and certainly the likes of Alex Vidal They'll flood that box, but they'll do it their way.
Headed back, David Lopez. They listed him as a center back, but if anything, he's a shadow, keeping an eye on Busquets in the midfield. Barcelona have won more of these titles in the Copa del Rey than anyone with 29. Naldo settles, but Espanyol have won 4 of their own. Twice, their first 2 against Real Madrid, most recently in 06 against Zaragoza.
Vermaelen again, beatable upstairs these days.
Granero rolling it off to the far side for Aaron Martin. Leaves it for Victor Sanchez. Sergio Roberto with the touch, out for the throw.
Barcelona get here by getting by Real Murcia, and then Celta Vigo 6-1 on aggregate. That one was a lot of a football match. I didn't expect it to be that much of a difference between Barca and Celta.
Akil flick Alenia trying to pirouette Messi, but cut out. Of course, both of those matches against Celta were memorable. The first because it was 1-1 and Barca a bit fortunate, and the second because maybe some of the best soccer we've seen from them under Valverde. Here's Messi to the middle. Alenia pushes the line. Then he's with Digne. Just a little high on the chip. Cleared only to Vidal. Alenia slips. A tackle from the RCDE.
He takes one look after his lovely first touch, and he's seeing that top corner, inviting, beckoning, and in his hurry to step through the ball, unfortunately loses his grip at the back.
Oh, and this is a bit of a concern. Remember early on the foul against Messi, and the clock cleaned immediately on an attempted clearance. Doesn't appear to be concussion, more maybe the fact that his ear's still ringing. And Javi Fuego, the hard man's hard man, looks like he might have to leave. The 34-year-old getting some treatment.
He'll be back. He'll not want to pull out of this battlefield. And there it is. And marbles get well and truly rattled. And you just take a few minutes and some good cold ice on the back of his neck. Let's hope so. Been a good player over the years, Phil.
You ever have a concussion?
Never got near that ball that much, to be honest.
Because you do hear from some that do, that there can be a bit of a delayed reaction. Looks like they have the smelling salts out to try and clear the cobwebs a bit. But if they follow the protocol, Espanyol will be without Javi Fuego for about 3, 4, 5 minutes.
Yeah, you saw the smelling salts coming out, and that's what he'll do. He'll take it out there. That'll clear your eyeballs. That'll make your brown eyes blue, that stuff.
Made one of them black. Quickly through for Vidal, perfectly threaded. Naldo with him, though. And the big Brazilian pokes it free. However, kept in play by the defending Messi. Paulinho.
Oh.
The Brazilian trying to sneak it, but his compatriot clears. Javi Fuego welcomed back.
It's unfortunate there for Paulinho's lovely little sequence of passes leading up to the Brazilian, who just wanted to sidestep one way and then pull his well-oiled trigger, because we've seen him capitalize and catapult the ball home from that distance. All Barcelona pinning the parakeets back nicely, but no real threat to Diego Lopez so far. Whoa, look out.
Paulinho, 3 to the good inside tackle. And Victor Sanchez reaches in. Looks like they're going to call a foul.
Looked like good a tackle to me in live time. Thought that Victor just reached around the side of Paulinho, but obviously he's come through the player to get to the ball and doesn't like the look of this. Take a look. He definitely came through the side, and Scissors is in between the leg.
Pinned that back leg down, which is the reason Paulinho slow to get up.
Yeah, look at Messi, full of concern for the Brazilian.
You'll send him a get well card.
Yeah. Taking care of business. then the early pressure maintained, and look at this, the way they play out of it. Manchester City, Liverpool, are you watching? You can put pressure on, but it depends on how you play through it. There's a master class right there of how you sense it. You've got the players to keep possession.
Lifted into the wall. Hands were up, but next to the chest. Messi spins it to the right side. Back into the mix, but over everyone. David Lopez watches it bounce harmlessly out. Valverde and Quique Flores. Their playing careers almost identical. Started the same year. Sanchez Flores played one more season, but their paths never crossed on the same team. Of course, Quique Sanchez through the Real Madrid pipeline. Valverde stopping in Barcelona for a spell.
He was a defender, wasn't he, Sanchez Flores?
Right back. Of course, obviously and famously the godson of the legendary Alfredo Di Stefano. One of Di Stefano's arch rivals on the Barcelona team that beat Espanyol.
That.
Tucked back by Aleix Vidal. Perfect position, Fuego. Aaron Martin didn't hear the footsteps. Paulinho for Busquets. And over to Digne. These two teams only meeting in the final once. 1957. Kubala on that Barca team, but it was San Pedro who scored the only goal in a 1-0 victory.
Nicely.
Naldo beaten, and the foul will come back.
This is
another
a foul,
free kick.
unquestionably. Messi just about to strike through this. I don't know what they're complaining about here. Take a look. Messi leaves him in the dust, and he's getting pulled back completely. He fights through it, as he always does, but
good refereeing, playing the advantage.
Oh, it's clear as a nose on. Well, never mind. This ball here for Messi. This is the third rehearsal, as we see the eternal tribute to Danny Harke, appreciated by even Ernesto Valverde, the immortal.
And of course, the tie between these two includes Andres Iniesta, who famously wore Harke's number under his national team jersey.
World Cup winning strike when the great Iniesta
dedicated
tribute to his great friend.
7 years wearing the blue and white.
Never forget it. Never forget him. Tragic way that Danny passed, of course. He shocked the world of football, but none more so than in this city. Beloved forever.
Vidal off the give and go, but it curls in towards Naldo, and the veteran back to Diego Lopez. Oh, will be off. Messi settles. Whips across, cutting back. Diego Lopez there, and not happy with his defense.
Well, Messi won't be happy with his final crack at goal, because he usually uses the uprights as his reference point. It's brilliant football. He plucks it out of the air absolutely superbly, and then in a blink of a bee's eye, he covers those next 4 or 5 yards, but his strike just not quite the angle to beat the 6'5" Diego Lopez.
Sillison came out this week, said, and the reason that it's even being reported is he's playing so well, but content to be the backup to Marc-Andre ter Stegen. Still the #1 for the Netherlands. That's how deep this Barca team is. Over to Vermaelen.
You say that, Phil, now, but you know, it was just last year where this team was considered to be in somewhat of a crisis after the transfer window that everybody was questioning.
Nice touch in for Moreno, but acrobatically cleared by Vermaelen.
Well played, Digne.
Digne limping a little bit, flipped on through Suarez. Messi coming in at an angle. Extra pace wide. Denise in, the cross deflected, corner Barca.
Wonderful play by Messi again, pushing back the blue and white shirts and then playing the quick one. There's that wonderful plucking of the ball out of thin air, and it's an extremely difficult shot, isn't it? You see the problem that Messi had, travelling at that speed and trying to pick out a wonder strike. We've seen it before.
Lifted in on the curl, looking for Piqué. Charges in on Diego Lopez, and the ball goes in, but the whistle had already blown. Ricardo de Burgos is going to know he's been in a game today. Well, this is one of the reasons why they're supposed to blow the ball early. You don't want to have collisions with the keeper.
The referee certainly gets it right, though, to be fair. And what happens then, though, if Piqué pulls out of it and it heads over to Paulinho, a difficult call for the referee and his assistant, as we see the Messi magic show. But look, he's got very little to hit. It's good protection from Naldo in front of Diego Lopez. Goalkeepers are never happy when they have to deal with shots from Messi.
Do you blame them? Flicked on near side Navarro. Could have been a handball by Digne, but too close. Ball to hand, said de Burgos. 31-year-old Basque referee.
Tenacious as always from Esteban. Brave play from Sergi. Aye. Showing way too much of the ball there was the youngster Carles Alenya. That's nice football.
But Vermaelen quickly back.
Oh, I'll say. Good speed over those first 2 or 3 yards, Phil, as well.
That speed tends to happen between the ears than down at ground level. And for a player that was supposedly on his way out, a Barcelona failure, he's arguably been one of the best players on the team the last month.
Oh, it's just been stepping in. He's played with different partners as well, but he's been almost not perfect.
Sergio Roberto.
Nice problems for Ernie Valverde to have.
Ernie, it fits. Lunch pail kind of guy, but what he's got on the lunch pail.
Oh, nicely, beautiful. In the land of the bullfight, ole! Sillerson says, here, have a taste of this red cape. Look out!
And it leads to this. Messi with an entourage. Messi deflected, and Espanyol fortunate.
He's only got 6 players to beat in front of them, but you wouldn't put much money on him not finding pay dirt. Wonderful touch as he keeps on dripping honey on every touch of the ball, Messi, but that blue and white mesh wouldn't open up again.
Lifted across. Settled by Digne, touched away from Alenya. Another derby tomorrow, but a mini one. The newcomers from Leganés taking on Real Madrid.
A big game for Real Madrid, though, Phil. I mean, that Leganés is a feisty team as well, and at least Zizou's men don't have to travel very far, as you say, but
the way things have been going, they might have rather been out of town.
Yeah, really, you know, it's true. They've got questions to answer tomorrow, the Royal Whites, the champions of the world.
Some great performances. Valencia edging Alaves, and what a performance by Sevilla. Tackled away from Sergi, out for the corner kick. A late winner to knock off Atletico in their first leg.
Yeah, real bookie buster, that one. Here, Messi keeps on touching, detonates this one, but again, wonderful cover right across, and it's Navarro who comes to the rescue. Here, take a look at this. Right, that is a milkshake on the way out.
Cleared by Granero. Deep lying roll for the Pirate here today.
The goalkeeper, especially our Gary Bailey. Gary will have been on the... He'd have dropped his cup of coffee, Gary, watching that one.
Well, it's not like he did a back heel or anything, but...
Still wonderful, wasn't it, Phil? I mean, under that sort of pressure. And
it's the mentality.
Call it a gamble, but oh, that's not though.
Sergio Roberto gives it up. The shot spun wide by Moreno.
Cillessen pulls his arms back in here after he sees this one going to be whistling wide. Gerrard gets that one, and he's got to snap at it. Nothing in support. Oh, what a ball from Busquets.
Diagonal run from Vidal. Messi goes the other way. Paulinho in the middle. Tried to poke it home.
Well, he's been the hero so much, and if he had scored this, you wouldn't have been talking about Paulinho. You wouldn't have been talking about the magic man here. You'd have been talking about, if you know anything about the game, on that radiant pass from Busquets. What a pass. Here's the replay angle here, and you see why he's got to pull the trigger. He's got a ball sitting up there on a beautiful golf tee, and he's got to have a full volley at that. Try to catch Cillessen by surprise.
Now Digne tries to dribble out of pressure. The whistle will save him.
How Busquets sees those passing lanes through the different lanes and the different staggered looks in front of him. It is astonishing, because, Phil, if that one gets cut out, his team are really in a lot of disarray, but it's wonderful risk and reward, for, as it always is with Barcelona. You talk about the Xavi and the Iniesta, how amazingly hard it'll be to replace that man there that just kissed it off to Gerard Piqué. Tell me where we'll see another one like this, lad.
Right, FIFA Team of the Year based on that computer game coming out. Ball in for Sergio Roberto. Flag stays down. Voices come up. Actually, Alanya coming across to grab it. Switches to Digne. Slips away. The Frenchman. Denis Suarez. Messi back for Denis. Cuts inside, impeded. Messi for Digne. Contact, and down he goes, but the ref, with a good look, says no foul. Right. Kante getting the nod at that defensive midfield. It kind of makes you wonder with Busquets, how would he fit in on another team? Because he seems like the perfect fit for this team.
I don't care.
Javi Fuego.
One of the most enjoyable footballers I've seen in my life, this number 5. And you can go with all your Kantes in the world. For me, as footballers and as athletes, this man is absolutely more the first one than the second, and he still covers as much ground as anybody. But it's the whole cerebral touch of him in a footballing match, and we've seen it throughout all the decades, Phil, all the years that Busquets, since he's been promoted from Guardiola said, hey, step up to the plate, brought him out of the youths and said, this is the guy. And he said, you've been a better footballer than I ever was. That's from Guardiola. His defensive play always gets underestimated.
They're pushing forward. He is kind of the metronome for this Barcelona team, but it's as sharp as a guillotine.
Good bench.
Semedo again sitting as Sergio Roberto gets the call. Might see him again in action when Barcelona returns to league play against Real Betis on Sunday. Up next for Espanyol, a showdown against Sevilla. Driven across, but early. Digne tucks it away calmly. 3 to beat. And gets past 2. Looking for a foul. Instead, he finds David Lopez.
David Lopez was the man who was reaching in across Dennis, but not able to fight his way through that contact.
But he couldn't get a lot on it. Still giving Barcelona time to retreat.
No excuses for the scoreline here, other than the fact that Suarez is sitting on the bench, but Messi's really working pretty hard across whatever front line you want to call it.
His first leg vital for Espanyol.
Oh, how did that stay in?
Flipped back as Roberto charges down the line. He'll get there. Duarte escorts him away, and taken nicely by Victor Sanchez. Joining Barcelona a year before Sergio Roberto, way back in 2005. And he's been with Espanyol now for 6 years. Similar player in many ways to Sergio Roberto, a bit more defensive perhaps. Found it hard to find his place with Barcelona. David Lopez now up on the front line.
Nicely played through there.
Not bad for a center back, but he misses the run of Granero. Nice cut by Naldo. The defenders pushing to the front line.
Well, that ball a little slack into Messi, and Naldo reading it very nicely. With
Raul Tamudo in a three-piece suit now and not in a uniform, getting a victory at the Nou Camp would be a dream on the verge of fantasy, so they know they need to do well here. Moreno getting tangled with Vermaelen.
The crowd are playing their parts, that's for sure. Screaming their abuse at this referee like Mussolini on the balcony with their verbals.
Paulinho across. Barca have never lost a game with Paulinho as a starter. 19-6-0. DK. A long diagonal. Well played by Navarro, and now he pushes up the line, but the ball gets stuck in his draft. David Lopez getting tangled. Burgos doing well to try and keep the bubbles from boiling over. First year now, as of January 1st, as a FIFA ref, the 31-year-old with a bright future, but tested here.
Yeah, he's got a volatile game. The crowd really making it a pressure situation for this man in the yellow, but he's handled it pretty well. All in all, still managing the game with these blue and white shirts that feel as if they're not getting the home calls. Supposed to, of course, but there's been one or two questionable ones where he might have been a little harsher on Barca.
Moreno to the middle. Granero thought it might be a flick on. On the near side. And Suarez tried to flick it on. Throw in for Espanyol. Here comes the Pirate, but behind Navarro. Was it touched? Yes. There is Raul Tamudo, one of the all-time legends for this blue and white side. 340 league games, 389 overall.
Well, we called some good games with him and Pochettino. They were good-time friends for a long time.
Pochettino over 3 centuries worth of games for this team.
Yeah, he was the one, wasn't he, that started to put the wedge in between this club and Temudo.
Now that he's moved on to North London, Temudo is back. Not easy as a player, Ray. Sometimes it takes a good friend to say it's over. Looking long, Fuego. A little too long. Of course, another long-time Espanyol man also back, and that's Thomas Mkono, who is part of the coaching staff for Quique Sanchez, the legendary Cameroonian netminder. Also over 300 games played. Vidal for Roberto. Out for the Barca throw. The stadium finished back in 2009. Still glorious. Not exactly Montjuic from attitude, but games like this will give it some character.
Oh, it's 10 times the stadium that Montjuic was. Well, setting, of course, might not be the same with the view, but again, nice play.
Marlon all the way back. Of course, with Chen Yansheng and Rastar buying into Espanyol, there is some money to support Quique Sanchez Flores. One of the reasons he decided not to leave. Inya up the line. Slotted through for Elenya, but just a bit too far. Denis Suarez let it carry. Messi has not touched the ball for about 5 minutes, which would be a mini win for Espanyol. Offside the call. It is a bit one-sided in the end result. 206th Derby Catalunya. Only 43 wins for Espanyol, but even many of the 120 victories for Barcelona were hard-earned.
That wonderful pirouette from Busquets, catching Messi by surprise a little bit. Not reacting to the shoveled pass.
Ronaldo in the corner, under pressure, but handles it easily. A lot more defense in this formation for Messi. Scrambling back, Sergi Roberto.
He's been the man, as you would expect. It looks the more likely to be able to make the impact and the inroads onto Diego Lopez, Lionel Messi. Certainly moments of inspiration in their attack has all come through the number 10. Here again.
Sliding inside, Messi scythed down, and that's going to be our first card of the match. Aaron Martin in the book.
Well, I could say it's youthful exuberance from Aaron, only 20-year-old, but this is certainly a foul. Messi's done him, and Aaron says, "You shall not pass." It's a half-decent attempt to reach in, but he'll learn that in Messi's world, the ball's there to be won, and then it's gone in a blink of a bee's eye as the rain starts to come down.
Temperature in the mid-50s. Messi,
good ball
to the 6.
Oh.
Paulinho shied away, maybe couldn't reach it straight to Diego Lopez.
Certainly couldn't reach it, or else he'd have reached it. The ball just beats him, skids away off the greasy surface now, but wonderful ball. It invites a prison break onto it. I thought it was going to be Piqué that got there ahead of the Brazilian. Nice play. Oh, he's coughed it here now.
Into the middle for Elenya. Messi on his inside, goes wide. Denis Suarez tried to pull a Luis Suarez, and slides it wide.
It was the opposite to what Luis did, but I think he might have done the right thing. It's obviously not the end result that he wanted. This is a wonderful interception by Sergio Roberto. Alanya steps it up, and you can see, man, that's close. He just doesn't quite have the confidence. A few people do in the world, and either way, that Suarez type of strike to the side net, is there for a split second, but then it gets blocked, so he goes on the inside, does the right thing, just didn't get his angle right.
First goal for Luis Suarez against Sociedad was that sublime curler to the back post, but then faked doing it again to cut it near post. Regardless, Denis Suarez couldn't do either, and we're still scoreless heading to the half. Although, as you saw, Luis Suarez is available on the bench if needed. And looking there, you have the Brazilian Leo Batistão, the midfielder Oscar Melendo, Pablo Piatti also available for Espanyol. Strong challenge by Alanya, maybe a bit too strong.
Again, it's a good call by the referee. He gets the ball, but look, he's leaving both feet, and the referee rightfully calls that a reckless challenge. Isaac Admiral, the old days, Phil, he'd be applauded for that, but the referees are rightfully cleaning it up. When you leave both your feet, it could be turned into lead breakers.
Available, and we might see some changes in the second half. We are scoreless at the break. Barcelona share the zeros.
Hold together. A little left. Easy. All right. We've all got places to go.
Washington crossing the Delaware Turnpike? Surprising. What's not surprising? How much money Sean saved by switching to Geico.
Big man with a horn.
15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
Evacuations are underway as a meteor heads toward the metro area.
We can fit more. But there's still more room.
We gotta go.
Juicer!
We don't have a juicer.
The Volkswagen Tiguan. It fits everything you need and everything you don't.
DirecTV has been rated #1 in customer satisfaction over cable for 17 years running. But some people still like cable, just like some people like pre-shaken sodas, having their seat kicked on an airplane, being rammed by a shopping cart, sitting in gum, and walking into a glass door. But for everyone else, there's DirecTV. For #1 rated customer satisfaction over cable, switch to DirecTV and get a $200 reward card. Call 1-800-DirecTV.
Excited about the open house today?
Just got to check my credit at Credit Karma first. It's free.
Oh, checking will lower your score. We'll never get out of here.
Actually, checking your credit score with Credit Karma never lowers it at all.
Really?
Yep.
Maybe I should check my credit. Oh.
Credit Karma. Get knowing.
Hi, I'm Joan London. Today's senior living communities have never been better, and nobody understands your options like the advisors at A Place for Mom. A Place for Mom is a free service to help you find a place that fits your parents' budget, needs, and personalities. Call today. A Place for Mom. You know your family. We know senior living. Together, we'll make the right choice.
Call A Place for Mom to get your free ebook on financing senior care. Call 1-800-224-6717.
Whether it's exercise, performing work, or carrying out a regular routine, these activities are important to our daily lives. But at any given moment, a subtle or severe injury can throw you off your game. Fortunately, there is a place you can go to get the specialized treatment you need and deserve.
Hi, I'm Dr. Alex Hernandez. If you are suffering from a back attack, a sports injury, or a home injury, come see me and my staff. Let's get you out of pain and back to your daily life.
Looking in at the RCDE, the Cornellà El Prat for Espanyol. 0's the score, not for a lack of trying, but the defenses have been fierce. Take a look at the two sides stepped onto the pitch, and Valverde and Quique Sanchez Flores start the duel.
Barcelona full of confidence coming off this incredible streak. It'd be Busquets who was masterful in the opening half so many times. This one isn't the greatest shot, but it takes a deflection and it's tremendous reaction from Diego Lopez. Messi would be driving on incessantly. He would be hearing it from this crowd, but on the eyes, he was absolutely magic, and certainly the main danger. And Diego Lopez says, don't give that number 10 that much space and time. It's like handing the keys to the blood bank to Dracula. And that one was a great opportunity for young Dennis, but he's got to pull it wide. And maybe if he'd let it run onto his left foot, but he trusts his right, but no angle.
The Express continues, still searching for our first goal in the first leg.
I'm Jillian Michaels, and I want you to stop working out because it's time to experience fitness in a whole new way. This is not a treadmill. It's the all-new incline trainer from Nordic Track. The first incline trainer ever to stream personal trainers from around the world straight to you in your home every day.
I'm going to dial it up a little bit faster. Let's go.
Experience the 22-inch high-def touchscreen as real coaching is streamed to you in breathtaking detail from all around the world.
Not only am I getting cardio training, I'm getting strength training, kickboxing, yoga.
I love the selector weight that comes with the X22i.
It's all the dumbbells you need in one place.
Not only did I get great cardio, but my biceps and triceps, they're loving it.
Getting the strength training on a treadmill is just something you have to feel. It's amazing.
Ready for some incline in New Zealand?
The coach controls my incline trainer live during the workout.
I'm in my home walking up the Napoli coast in Hawaii with this amazing trainer, and all the time I'm feeling my treadmill speeding up, slowing down, declining, inclining. Automatically, it's unreal.
Feel that treadmill incline. Stay with me. One more sprint. Give it all you've got.
This is how you burn 5 times more calories, and all you're doing is walking.
Burn 5 times the calories with me in Santorini. Burn 5 times the calories in France.
Burn 5 times the calories in Hawaii.
5 times the calorie burn. You have to feel it to believe it.
It's like having a boutique fitness club in my home. This is the best thing that's ever happened to home fitness.
Go to NordicTrack.com now and burn more calories than ever before with the best trainers on earth. Act now and you can bring the X22i home risk-free. The motivation you need for the results you want. Only at NordicTrack.com. Get the X22i incline trainer from Nordic Track and change the way you see fitness forever.
18-month special financing available. Offer subject to credit approval. Some restrictions apply. Visit NordicTrack.com for details.
Thursday night is college basketball night on BeinSport. Nick King and the Blue Raiders come face-to-face with John Elmore and the Herd. Middle Tennessee versus Marshall tomorrow on BeinSport.
He's the best. I'm Edgar Navarrete, an attorney. Driving while under the influence is very dangerous and a very serious offense. If you find yourself arrested for driving while under the influence, the law requires that you submit to a chemical breath test. Failing to submit to that test carries the same consequences and penalties as if you were found guilty for driving while intoxicated. So you should always cooperate with the police. If you ever find yourself in this situation, please feel free to contact me for a free consultation.
Contact Alonzo at Navarrete for DWI, criminal, and all other motor vehicle matters.
You don't mind driving?
No. If you don't mind a little mess, that's all.
Oh, no, that's fine. My car is totally messy.
Great.
Oh.
A messy car can really mess up your day. Zap Car Wash. 6 different New Jersey locations. Lightning fast, zappy clean. Mention this ad, get $4 off your next car wash. Be amazed by your car all over again.
On a day where the world thinks back in honor of Ronaldinho, maybe this game needs a little magic from the great Brazilian, because right now neither team able to pull a rabbit out of the hat. Take a look at the passes, nearly 4 times as many for Barcelona, but none at the final end. Scoreless as the Express continues.
The great emperor penguin migration, trekking 100 miles inland to their breeding grounds. Except for these 2 fellas.
This time next year, I'm going to be sitting on the egg.
I think we're getting close.
Make a U-turn.
U-turn?
Recalculating.
Man, we're never going to breed.
Just give it a second.
You will arrive in 92 days.
No, nope. You know I'm going to follow? My instincts.
As long as GPS can still get you lost, you can count on Geico saving folks money.
I'm breeding, man.
15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
¿Cómo te conviertes en la marca más confiable de SUVs? Haciendo vehículos que están atentos para las personas que no lo están. Haciendo vehículos que detectan lo que ellos no pueden detectar. Haciendo vehículos con 3 filas para la carga más importante. Vamos más lejos para lo más preciado en tu vida. Así es Ford. Y así es como te conviertes en la marca más confiable de SUVs.
Hello there guys, Kevin Egan here. The Extra coming up at 7 p.m. Eastern Time tonight. Big games in Spain, France and England. We'll recap them all and ask you about Ronaldinho's legacy, the best Brazilian of this century. Hashtag The Extra. See you at 7 Eastern.
I love my job. Yes, it is competitive, but I'll tell you what, it's never boring. So being connected to my agents or clients or a house inspector is super important. You know a client's tough when you give them their own ringtone.
What I like about our system is that it works no matter where I am.
Plus, with over 30 calling features like virtual fax, scheduled call forwarding, and state-of-the-art IP phones, I can run my business from anywhere.
La semana es larga y necesitas un poco de sabor en tu vida. Déjanos consentirte con guacamole fresco, tostón tropical o camarones al ajillo. Todos están aquí para pasar un buen rato. Elige una bebida y nosotros te la servimos. No esperamos hasta el viernes para tratar bien a nuestros clientes. Disfruta de una de nuestras entrañas preferidas, la entraña Cayenne, entraña Taberna y la entraña 5 estrellas, cubierto con camarones salteados, tocino y queso derretido. City Tavern, donde el fin de semana comienza el lunes.
Lionel Messi has had a few moments, but when he gets close, he tends to get chopped down here. Denied by Diego Lopez. Second half right around the corner. See if we can find a goal in this one. There were 3 in each of the other 2 matches. Atletico scored first thanks to Diego Costa, but bouncing back with a late winner from Correa. Sevilla with the road win. Tough news for Simeone. Valencia, meanwhile, 2-1 over Alaves. They will head to the Basque Country for the second leg against last year's finalist. No score here. Leganés and Real Madrid in action tomorrow. Check out BeinSports.com for all the particulars. Well, the Budgies are in action. Can the players follow suit?
Get your win on with the Cricket Unlimited 2 plan. Get 4 lines of unlimited data for $100 a month. Plus, switch now and get up to 4 free LG Fortune phones. All on a network that covers over 99% of Americans. Cricket Wireless, something to smile about.
My husband's probably going to think I'm crazy. He thinks I'm going to see my sister.
Sometimes the confidence to be spontaneous starts with financial stability.
Once I heard it, I was shocked. I just thought, I have to go get it.
It's our tree.
See how a personalized financial strategy and access to JP Morgan investment expertise can help you. Chase, make more of what's yours.
Every time 4 o'clock is close enough to 5, a Corona gets its lime. Every time vacation mode doesn't need to wait for a vacation day, a Corona gets its lime. Every time the band goes on, And every time you take it all in. Or every time you say, wow, a Corona gets its lime. And every time you take those off and you decide it's time to turn off, a Corona gets its lime.
Get your win on with the Cricket Unlimited 2 plan. Get 4 lines of unlimited data for $100 a month. Plus, switch now and get up to 4 free LG Fortune phones. All on a network that covers over 99% of Americans. Cricket Wireless, something to smile about.
Maybe the player or person that's had the most action in the first half is the referee, Ricardo de Burgos. See Leo Batistao without the warm-up on. Looks like there might be at least one change.
Certainly the referee's eardrum's got to work out, Phil. I mean, he was really hearing it from this very partisan, impassioned crowd. And they'll be pretty happy with the result at this point. Espanyol keeping Barcelona off the score sheet. And got some good players on the bench to come up and maybe spark a big surprise.
Doesn't look like any changes for Barcelona and Ernesto Valverde as they get serenaded back onto the pitch. Good first half from Naldo, the 29-year-old in his first year from Krasnodar.
I hope you serenade your good wife a little better than that, Phil, if that's what you call a serenade.
Maybe the whistle's a little different. And Batistao about ready to get introduced. Will it be a straight swap for Moreno? Maybe Granero or Darder or Sanchez in the defensive midfield positions. And it looks like it will be Sergio Darder, who was very quiet in the first half. This will shake things up a bit. Quique Sanchez will probably drop Victor Sanchez next to Javi Fuego. Granero, Moreno, and now Batistao in the attack. Underway to start this second half. The blue and white Parakeets will be flying from right to left in this second stanza of the first leg. Bill Shane alongside Ray Hudson, and we are so glad you could join us today. Jose Hernandez, Jaime Macias on our Spanish language side, especially Ray, those who might have gotten yet another snow day.
Yeah, terrible weather throughout that northeast, so we're there with you, people. Look up.
Touchdown into the corner, player down behind the play. Vermaelen cutting it off. And it's Victor Sanchez back on his old turf, literally and figuratively. And Barca about ready to make a switch, or perhaps just Luis Suarez trying to send a message.
A lot of rain in Spain these last 10 days or so, and raindrops coming down a little heavier now. And if that last performance of Suarez is anything to be taken into account, he doesn't mind the rain at all. Played arguably his best game of football under that real terrible weather in Real Sociedad.
And yeah, up for Denis Suarez. Gets tangled with Fuego, and a free kick on an angle. Kind of funny when you look at the weather map right now. There's hardly anything except right over this area where the airport is.
Weatherman, I've told you before, take no notice of them. They do nothing.
What about weather ladies?
They're a bit better.
Third minute of the second half. Messi.
Good ball.
Cross. Oh. Vermaelen cut off by Naldo at the wire.
Tremendous from the ex-Krasnodar man. Comes across, and Vermaelen can smell this one coming. And what's happened here?
Well, the assistant on the near side doesn't know it comes off the defender.
Let's take another look. Does it come off? It certainly comes off the bald head of Naldo. I thought it might take a little deflection onto Vermaelen, but there's nothing there. Bad call.
Miguel Martinez on the near side, maybe getting a thank you card from Espanyol. And now, let's see, De Burgos. Is he going to overturn it, or no, it looks like he still had some talking to do. Paulinho still politicking.
What was his last club? Krasnodar, of course, Naldo. But he was playing his football in Portugal as well for the great Sporting. Nice touch there from Denis Suarez.
Oh. Naldo trying to deny Vidal. And Suarez in the center channel gets away from Granero. And Sergio Roberto didn't see Herrón. Nice from Vidal. Granero switches into the vast blue sea on the far flank. By the way, this not the other Naldo, shall we say. Longtime Bundesliga star, but a pretty good defender in his own right. Back for Granero. In for David Lopez, who has done well in the midfield, but not on that pass. Kind of wonder if there's shop window on the Barca bench, maybe from Valverde, and the transfer window starting to tighten up a little bit. Rafinha back healthy, but word he could be loaned out. Andre Gomes also available on the bench. In for Messi. Gets rid of it quickly. Vermaelen. Dummied through, but Alagna wasn't ready. Touched forward by Duarte. Stripped back. In for Messi. Lifts. Dances around Naldo. Poked free by Fuego. Lopez. Granero. Nice work out of the back by Espanyol. And it's a foot race for Moreno. That's the angle against Piqué, but not much help. Three defenders back, trying to thread it across. Good play by Digne to steal it away.
Good early touches from Leo Baptistao.
Baptistao, was there contact? Referee says he saw it himself. Grew up with Neymar at Santos as a youngster. Shoulder into the jaw.
Aye, he's done for the day. Paulinho signaling, I'm finished, boss. I don't know what exactly the problem is there, but there's some obviously not quite right with the Brazilian. That's going to be sad.
Well, they just lost Dembele for maybe up to another month.
Yep.
Even a squad as deep as Barca. And remember, he's trying to shorten the squad. It's being shortened by injury. Umtiti, De La Feu, Alcácer, Dembele, Iniesta, Mascherano. Where some of those players may be on the move. Piqué looking for a gap. Sergio Roberto. Extra pace to get around Lopez. Then to get around Herrón, who pulls him down. Problem for Herrón Martinez. He already has one caution.
Well, this is an absolutely tremendous run from Sergio Roberto. What's this?
They're saying he was cutting into the box when he was pulled, and it should be a second yellow against the left back. And they have an argument.
Well, we'll see it clearly there. But Aaron definitely comes across. This is a wonderful run. He takes, this is like the third or fourth defender that's outside of the box. The pullback right here, clearly outside. But it was a really admirable run, Phil. He started it off just inside his own half and looked as if it was just going to be passed off. Sergio Roberto does it his way. He took three defenders on there down that full side and got round the last one incredibly.
The Burgos making the substitution first. This is the 13th match that De Burgos has reffed in all competitions, and he has not been afraid to pull the red. He's done it 3 times prior, but on that time he elects to keep it in his pocket, and Paulinho exits.
So used to seeing him with that beautiful big smile of his, and he's had good reason. He's had a wonderful season, but there was some sort of muscular problem, and they must have been aware of it at half-time, Phil, because he immediately notified the boss that, no, I'm not going to risk any more damage. The Blondie comes in.
Now, of note, they did have Andre Gomes available on the bench, but elect to go with Rakitic. Messi from a tight angle. Flicked on at the near post by Busquets. Back in by Roberto. Messi settles, drives, and down goes Diego.
Tremendous skill. Wonderful settlement, and again, ultra quick with his dispatch.
Slips away. Batistao bundled over. Looks like they're calling something the other way right now, and Granero now upset.
Yeah, the referee's not having anything to do with it either. Had a clear look at it, and Granero seeing there was more of a malicious step through. And he may have a point. Here's this wonderful bit of skill again from Lionel when it comes back to him. Quick, slick, and nearly finds a tremendous goalkeeping. Down quick in soft hands. Diego Lopez, 36-year-old, as you said, Phil.
Can see why Rafa still wants him.
Really tremendous performer.
Batistao up and limping away. Kind of strange. Maybe what the arm signal was from the ref was advantage, but it quickly dissipated. So the free kick for Espanyol. You could hang the Jolly Roger on that one. Batistao cannot continue. That would be a big blow for the home side, having to use one of their substitutes. Yellow card from the bench for Jordi Alba for his protests. That might keep him away from the field just in case. Don't want to risk him getting a second. Ramon de la Fuente, the goalkeeper coach, maybe a bit fortunate.
Jordi Alba. Looks like he got a yellow card.
10, now almost 11 minutes into the second half.
Takes the risks beautifully, doesn't he? Again, draws 3 players onto him, Sergio Roberto. So it leaves avenues and windows open in other parts of the pitch. Such great trust in the youngster, carrying the ball into traffic like that. Really marvellous.
Clicked on by Vidal, off target, through the legs of Rakitic. Well, he is Brazilian. Nice from Naldo, just carries a bit.
Good header.
Sharp into the feet of Elenia. Messi battling. No.
Pressure from
Lopez
Busquets again. Wonderful from Sergio Busquets. Flies into the area where he knows he's needed and gets the job done. Leaves that central position in his defensive hole in midfield, and it's amazing how many times he can identify when he can win the ball by leaving that pivotal position in front of his back four. Wonderful.
Didac Villa getting set to check in. Back to Espanyol after some time at Ike Athens. He's a left back coming in for a left back, and again Aaron Martin with 1 yellow and a bit fortunate not to get a second. So fresh legs also to help cover Leo Batistao. Luis Suarez on the sideline. You'd guess Denis Suarez or Alex Vidal would be the ones to come out. Naldo with the chip. Clattering challenge on the far side. Vermaelen.
It did it again. Yes.
Rakitic. Suarez. Well, there are not goals, but this has been an entertaining affair when it comes to watching the tactics clash, the hearts beating against each other. Over the top, Piqué with the foul. And now Luis Suarez, slow start, but one of the hottest strikers in Europe at the moment, and he will come in for Alenya. Would imagine Denis Suarez slides back to the midfield, and Messi has some help up front.
Precious moments for Calles, and had some nice touches, and unfortunately didn't have many clean looks at goal, but worked very well and linked up nicely.
Ball bounces long. Sharp header back for David Lopez. Tries to get the ball away from Busquets, instead brings down the big man. Been a good tactical switch for Sanchez Flores, pushing David Lopez a little higher up.
I don't know, Phil. I haven't seen much of the threat coming out. It's a little bit sparky in the early going of this second half, but this Barcelona certainly in good possession control as ever. And heading back to Camp Nou, they would take this result, but I think there'll be a goal out there somewhere, whether it's from the Bujarrigas or the Blaugrana.
Ball just past Luis Suarez.
Especially with this man.
Of course, Barca pitch. Ray, Barca wouldn't mind the draw, but they would prefer the goal draw just to get the tie break, so they wouldn't have to sweat so much in the return leg. See Rafinha itching to get back.
And the right foot, little bit of a step on from somebody, and that's good news. Nothing muscular at all. This is metatarsal.
Well, that could also be a problem, but
only if you're English.
30 minutes remain. And Suarez dropping it back. Nice touch,
beautiful
Luis.
Pass.
Messi switches in stride. Vidal. The run is on. Roberto in. Down in the box, and they're going to call it. Penalty against Espanyol.
Take a look where this referee is. Suffering terrible abuse, but he's right on the spot, and he sees the step onto this young man's foot, and he sees it immediately. He's unhesitant. He's been used to this, and this is seems it really has got to be taken away from football. Throw some sort of protection ring around the referee, because it's a gang. Just absolutely. Let's take a look at it first of all. The ball comes through. The challenge is reckless from the back. Granero comes in, stepping and pushing in. He's got to be. It's a penalty box. You've got to be careful. Look at that. He certainly steps through the player onto the left leg and then onto his feet. The Real Madrid, ex-Real Madrid man gets caught. If he'd been a little bit more conservative with the challenge, he had two blue and white shirts on him, Sergio Roberto, but they gambled with that reckless challenge. Doesn't seem to be that much, but it doesn't have to be if his standing foot is impeded intentionally in the referee's eyes. It was.
Lionel Messi has had his issues from the spot, and Diego Lopez another issue.
You sensed it, didn't you? That this volatile crowd would act as like an invisible shield, but it's all down to Diego Lopez, the ex-Villarreal man, comes to full rescue for the Parrots. Messi drives it beautifully, doesn't quite get the angle, but 6'5" to beat, he couldn't do it.
Cleared away, back post, now flicked out of danger. Chance maybe on the break, but Dino over to clear.
Take a look at it again, and in the replay you'll see the anticipation from The wonderful Diego Lopez right there. That's a tremendous save. Messi pummels this one, but rather than knocking Messi, look at this black cat that grows wings. That's a fabulous save. And he goes Barry White disco. Beautiful, beautiful save.
Messi 2 for 4 in league when it comes to penalties, and now missing from the spot here in the cup. Diego Lopez.
He's had a good game all game long. We've seen the soft hands. We've seen him coming to claim when he should, leaving his lane beautifully. But that spring for a man at 6'5" and 36-year-old. Well done, Diego. And it's set him on his feet. He'll be not getting much rest in bed tonight, thinking about this game. And hey, Phil, when you see a game going like this, half an hour left on the score sheet, the wind in the sail of Espanyol now.
Definitely the current headed in their direction. Vila challenging. Granero knocks it back. Fuego knocks it on. Over Digne, tracking down Sanchez. Plays it square and earns the corner.
It's a lovely ball to find Victor Sanchez over the distance. Show your colours. Wonderful home field advantage now for Piqué, telling them his teammates to calm down, we'll be all right. But they're on high seas now, this Spanish gun galleon. It's Barcelona, and Quique Sanchez Flores loves what he's seeing.
A penalty called against Espanyol might have been the spark that lights Espanyol's fire here. Following the save, this stadium looks like almost every fan on their feet.
They'll be jumping out of this stadium if this one goes in.
Rain continuing to spit down. De Burgos saying he's watching.
The lovely edge about this game now. Broken bottle edge, it may not be, but it's getting there.
From the corner. Espanyol's first of the match. Knotted down around Silesen, but he grabs hold. Victor Sanchez back. The center of the park for Lopez.
Another test for Barcelona, this. 2 goals down there last week. This is offside.
Oh, Moreno.
But they responded brilliantly after going those 2 goals down in Anoeta, showing the character. And now they've got another game where they're not coming back, but man alive, they're being really pushed to the brink here. Next goal is going to be the enormous difference. They'll go team that gets it up 20%, the other team are conceding it down 20%, then you've got a big gap to make up. Barcelona showed that they're capable of that in this wonderful season that they're having. This game just got ignited though, didn't it? Beautifully by that save from Lopez.
Lionel Messi now 3
magic
and 3 on his 6 penalties this season in all competitions. Sergio Roberto a little too casual, but Busquets tries to save the bacon. By the way, second stop from the spot for Diego Lopez against Lionel Messi. You have to go all the way back to the early days when he was still at Villarreal for the last one. Squared for Vermaelen. Digne dispossessed. Sanchez couldn't keep it in. There you see some of what it takes to get free on a corner kick nowadays. Sergio Roberto in for Busquets. Busquets, that little calm spot on the field when all else is in turmoil. Denis Suarez. Countered by Duarte, the Nicaraguan-born Tico. Midway point reached in the second half. Vidal up off of Naldo. Looked like off his chest and then his face, but screams for a handball. There's the Twitter handles. Love to hear from you today.
Good ball from Denis Suarez into Luis, trying to find Messi with that first-time touch, just not making contact enough.
Roberto challenging Batistao to save that one, and you saw almost 93% passing percentage from the center back for Milan. Rakitic. Roberto.
Nice.
Credit to Granero, who's no spring chicken anymore, but sprinting back. 30-year-old in his first year from Sociedad. Vidal screaming for the ball here at the bottom of the screen. Wide for Roberto. Vidal. Roberto. Good pressure. Villa. Messi slips as he delivers, and it's going to carry it to safety. Another tackle from the Cornellà El Prat. Rafinha is up.
A wonderful talent.
If he could just stay healthy.
Well, he hasn't had too many bad injuries in his young career, but the last one was really bad. Again, the power's good, the placement just not quite high enough, but no matter which way you cut it, this is a goalkeeping save rather than a miss. In my opinion, it's a tremendous save. Ooh, what a ball.
Just over Luis Suarez.
Oh. Searching past that one, and it looked as if it was just going to drop into his bread basket, but just carried on.
Rafinha has not stepped on the field in a competitive match for Barcelona since April against Granada. A couple of false starts in his recovery this time. The last kept him out for more than another month. Rakitic, but offside. Discipline on that back line.
Yeah, it's easy offside. He's stranded. Rakitic trying to play him quickly here, holding his line.
And he's not.
Whoa. Damn right, Phil. It's Naldo who steps up trying to catch him off, but I agree.
Again, Busquets with the touch right to Rakitic. There have been a few flashes offensively for Espanyol, but it's the defensive intensity that's been the highlight today.
Yep.
Good hustle, Roberto. Granero staying with him. Rakitic. His role has changed so much under Valverde.
Oh.
Split through for Messi. Now to Vidal. Back for Rakitic. Roberto back for The Croatian midfielder telegraphed it a bit. Batistao, down goes Granero, appeals for a foul, and they'll get it. Last substitution, perhaps. Each team with one more remaining. Remember, Javi Fuego went down in the first half very early, and then seemed to be rattled again once or twice before the half went. This almost looks like it might be a continuation of that than anything new, and this time they will make the switch. Oscar Melendo. They had Piatti in store if they wanted to put more offense on, but they need another man in the midfield, so the 5'6", 20-year-old will step in. Joined Espanyol when he was 5, did Oscar Melendo.
You see Messi offside, but that doesn't count, and certainly that step up is what bamboozled the man with the flag. That step up by Naldo made it more like an optical illusion. Very difficult call, to be fair, for the referee to make.
And a well-deserved round of applause.
Yep. Hung in there as long as he could.
Melendo joining Espanyol back in 2003. Broke into the first team last year and now approaching 20 games. That one will carry.
Bad giveaway.
Little kick by Navarro, wants it back. Dished wide by Moreno. In for Batistao, and Piqué forced to intercept.
Good covering by Big Gerard here. And it's telling Luca Digne not to be so slack. It's a bad giveaway, this. Lovely little touch pass from Moreno. Questioning ball on tricky conditions. But again, Piqué, wonderful cover on that near post.
Navarro might have learned that one at La Masia after a decade with Barca. Corner will swing away. Cillessen stays back just over Navarro. Carries all the way through. Villa. Cleared, but top of the box. Rifled up and over Batistao.
Well, forwards dream of these types of chances on this type of surface and this juncture of the game, and Cillessen certainly felt something here.
Did he slip or was he bumped? Looked like he took a hit to the eye. Either that or no, he's going over to get the ball and something got thrown from the stands.
Right, and it's still raining down on him. The bottle tops or something. And Cillessen's rather fortunate not to get an eye put out, and he's got to make an announcement really to the stadium. There you see it. It's like an ice cube. Who knows what it is, but it strikes it. And this is out of order, and the referee's dismissing it, but truly there should be some sort of announcement to throughout the stadium. You cannot have that.
Letting the verbals go is one thing. Cillessen appears to be okay, but it was probably only an inch or two from being much more serious. And then Rafinha. There's supposed to be a 3 or 4 month injury. It ended up dragging on to 9. Then Suarez will exit. The Brazilian will enter. Still just 24.
Of the big Italian teams, as you said earlier, Phil, calling, looking to take him either permanently or on loan, and that's a lovely first touch, and he gets a whack as well. So
He survived.
Welcome back to the fray.
Just past Batistao. Piqué. Rakitic. Scrambling back for Vermaelen.
Inviting them to push in.
And as you pointed out earlier, Barcelona at this point quite content heading home, being able to punt this to match 2. Although the insertion of Rakitic and Luis Suarez shows that Valverde would like to win this. Sergio Roberto. Piqué. Bit of a Christmas tree for Espanyol, with the point of the spear Batistao. Rakitic.
Ball.
Long diagonal. Down goes Roberto in a collision with Melendo. In for Messi. Oh. Just a stride too soon. Well, the big concern might be the injury to Paulinho. We'll find out more on that. Of course, the Extra will have a complete recap coming up this evening.
Yeah, 2 tough games for these teams going into the weekend, Phil. Espanyol taking on Sevilla, who confident lookout.
In, but touched just away. Again, the big Belgian.
Yeah. Piqué's got the cover round behind him, but Thomas, very good. Not covering, telescopic legs, putting it out, inviting danger though.
The ex-Madridista from the corner flag. Silesen barking at his defense. Naldo dragging Busquets inside the mix. Headed up, flicked back. Silesen on the goal line, but he's knocked down for the foul. Nice from Duarte. Good play from Sanchez.
Been a great tussle on this side between Sanchez and Sergio Roberto. Subplot in this game. Roberto's been heavily involved and being a little slack there.
Granero looking for a gap. Finds it far side. Navarro. Piqué again, but his clearance goes awry. Trying to slot it through Moreno.
Ooh.
And Moreno does get it. Pulled down by Rakitic. Now he's breaking in. They'll get the foul and a yellow. Argument for a red.
He gets caught with his knickers down here. Even Rakitic right here. Instead of playing it back to the keeper, he tries to tiptoe through the blue and white tulips and gets picked. And he realizes straight away he's got to do something.
Referees.
By hook or by crook. He does it illegally, of course, right here. And I tell you what, Phil, that might have been one-on-one with Silesen for a clear goal-scoring opportunity.
He's headed in the general direction of the goal. There is Vermaelen back, but he's to his inside. That is about as obvious a goal-scoring opportunity as you can have and not be a red.
Yeah.
De Burgos letting them play. Here's Granero. He'll leave it. Navarro! Tapped up by Silesen to save the day.
A lovely straight through, but it's direct at Silesen, and he's got it covered all day. A little bit more of an angle, and that one might have been probably whistling past the goalkeeper. Jasper sees it, And as I say, it's on top of him in a blink of a bee's eye, and he knows it. Just another degree or two either side, and that might have been the winner.
A fun one, nail-biting time. 7 minutes and change remain. On the corner, clears everyone. 5'6" Oscar Melendo. First poor ball in, straight to
wonderful touch.
Rafinha. Messi impeded immediately. Batistao in the midfield. Sanchez lifting it for the Brazilian. Into Vermaelen, right in front of the assistant. No foul. Slammed away, and this will be a yellow for protesting. Maybe delay as he pushes it through. Bit of frustration on what has been another brilliant day for Vermaelen.
Well, look, the ball bounces right in front of him, and there's a slight little push into the back of Vermaelen, but referee says it's nowhere near enough for him to go down.
Box high, far side, kicked into the corner, touched in. Vermaelen will clear. They'll try it again. 6 shots, 5 in the second half for Espanyol. Only 3 in the second stanza for Barcelona. Just over Moreno. Piqué bumped as he tries to clear, falls for Messi. Sergio Roberto in, Rakitic back. Piqué hungry. Rafinha back after 9 months, and maybe his final game for Barca.
I don't know.
Rakitic
looked very sharp since he's come in off a cold bench. Really cauldron of a game, heated and slick, and Rafinha, all of his touches being absolutely tremendous.
Well, had to leave once before to Celta Vigo to get playing time. Came back with Luis Enrique. With the arrival of Dembele, or the return of Dembele, the arrival of Coutinho, playing time becoming even more valuable. Run into by Vicente Sanchez, and a card against the former Barca boy.
Believe it or not, Phil, after you've had an injury as long as he's been out, that will do you the world of good, knowing you're going to take the hits like that and bouncing straight back.
Longtime friend Sanchez actually getting to La Masia a year before Rafinha. But friendships on the sideline at the moment. Rafinha in the center circle. Espanyol compressed back towards their own box.
Clean and sharp, always responsible on the ball, always questioning and demanding the pass played into him. Rafinha.
Didac Villa, Catalan born, letting that one carry. Had the right dynamic on it, just not quite far enough away.
Yep. Been solid, more than solid, been impressive again, not just in his positioning but with his feet. He's been tremendous. Wonderful outlet for the Barcelona way to progress from the back through the middle. Nice turn.
Dinero deep lying at the moment. Sanchez through. It's a foot race. Dropped by Navarro. Shot to the far post by Melendo. And the littlest man with the biggest shot.
Fabulous goal of the highest order for the Parakeets, who take off in full flight. Rolando is the thunder at the end. But this is But take a look at the construction of this goal. There's nothing lucky or slap happy about it, and tears the size of pineapple chunks coming down that young man's face for his beloved Espanyol. Minutes away, it starts here. The Milan tries to get his head out, doesn't get enough height. The Pirate starts the blue and white dominoes falling. Beautiful lead pass on the inside to attack. The pullback is on, and that's placement down to pixel perfection. Wonderful from Navarro. The pullback here is fabulous for the setup for Maldonado. Beautiful. Take a look again how clean this hit is. It's passed through all of the Barcelona defenders, and he shreds them, and he leaves Barcelona in acid.
Well, that unbeaten run for Ernesto Valverde has not been tested like it has been here today. Dating all the way back to that Super Cup defeat against Real Madrid in August. They have not lost since. And Quique Sanchez Flores, textbook tactics. They frustrate Barcelona for 88 minutes, and Oscar Melendo with his debut goal, one he will never forget.
Truly, quality goal on every department.
Into the area, touchback Roberto, top of the box, whacked away.
Where do you look for a hero throughout this Espanyol team? The fans upstairs will be looking at the goalkeeper and throwing down kisses and bouquets. This game's still alive, though.
Roberto in the corner. Looking for their 30th straight in all competitions without defeat, and we are now in added time. Another card coming out from Ricardo de Burgos. Javi Lopez pleading his innocence, and his appeal rejected. Suarez as well. Deserved lead.
The fighting spirit, the defense have been absolutely wonderful in defending. The goalkeeper, you always need a 10 out of 10 performance to beat Barcelona. They've had that from the wonderful Diego Lopez, and they see the game out. No question, they've rode their luck a little time, but this crowd would not be denied and had full belief in this team. In some shockers in the Copa del Rey.
Flicked into the middle, cleared away by David Lopez, and now launched upfield.
Hanging on, tired legs, tired heads now.
100 seconds remain. What a goal. Half of the goal has to go to the former Barcelona youngster Marc Navarro. Credit to the ex-Madridista Granero. But someone needed to take the shot, and Melendo did brilliantly. And then that one just sent screaming towards the Nou Camp. It's a 3-mile trek, but it might as well be a different universe today. Barca, pretty soon, don't be surprised to see Cillessen step up, but it is a cup match, and remember, it's total goals. Touched back, and a foul. One last gasp for Barca.
The confines of this stadium just lend itself to this type of crowd that is absolutely rabid, and we saw in that wonderful replay of those Espanyol fans that were brought to tears for their team. And what answer from Lionel.
They've held their eternal rival at bay for 92 minutes and almost 93. Messi denied from the spot in the second half. From the free kick to the back post, high. And that might do it. It is over. Espanyol, on the death of 90, puts Barcelona's unbeaten streak into the history books.
Well, they know that they're going to be facing a different set of circumstances in the next leg, but they don't care. They ain't thinking about that. There'll be some hoochie-coochie on the blue and white side of Barcelona tonight. Barcelona played well, but they couldn't penetrate, and it's Oscar Melendo, the 20-year-old, that sees all of his dreams come true for his beloved Espanyol. Astonishing scenes. There's a beautiful goal for the youngster, and he rumbled, young man, rumble!
What a night on the outskirts of Barcelona, Cornellà El Prat. He doesn't even need the airplanes next door to soar home tonight. Take a look at the highlights from this one. Ernesto Valverde knew it wouldn't be easy. They had their chances but could not take advantage.
They rotated the team and put fresh legs in, and they didn't let